So pleased that you could all make this journey with me through the YouTubian galaxy. We are departing soon, so please come in and take a seat. And of course, say hi to our pilot Pete. Sit back, buckle up, and enjoy the ride. Turbulence is to be expected, and for some can cause severe anxiety. In case of such an emergency, look above your head, or you will see an oxygen mask. Upon pushing the red panic button to the left, the mask will drop down. Please place it over your nose and mouth and breathe until calm. Let's do this. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the last check before takeoff. Please make. Okay, that's enough of that. Look, I made that a long time ago, and I was trying to get the boop, 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 boop out of it. It's a lot, I know. I am well, Hazel. Hello, Angela. Hello, Miss Justice. Dingy ding ding. Welcome to Remain Calm's channel. I commentate. If you get educated, that's a thumbs up. It's a good thing. If you get too educated on something I'm talking about, it's not my fault. It's some other dude's. It's some other dude's fault. It ain't my fault. It's not my fault. Funny, funny, funny. So I wanted to, of course, come back on and talk about the Sebastian Rogers case here just for a minute. I know there's a lot of channels covering Sebastian Rogers. You know, keeping his name out there is very, very important to me. And we, some of us watched the press conference at the end of a live I did earlier today. And I'm not going to do that with a child's name. So we are going to listen to it again. Then I have also found the original copy of the divorce and the restraining order between Seth Rogers and Sebastian's mom, which is interesting. And you know what? I found it all by myself. I didn't need help. I did it all on my own. I'm proud of myself. Now, I do a lot of my own looking stuff up. Even if people send me things, I do use some of the stuff, but I always try to look up my own stuff, and so I know where I'm going with it and things like that. What's up, Lisa Kleckner? Patty has a ponytail, runs with scissors. Better be careful. You better be careful, girl, running with them scissors. All right, we're going to hop right into this press conference, which I found a lot of it to be very interesting, and we are going to talk about it. As you see, hey, Jude. Hey, Jude. So, anywho, the numbers are on the banner to call if you have any relevant information. Why the hell is that so small? What is going on with that? What in the world happened there? Oh my Lord, have mercy. What have I done? What have I done? Well, let's just make it a little bit. That's not even very big. I don't need for y'all to see my mug like this. What in the world? What is going on? Hang on a minute. What did I touch? What the heck did I touch? Hold on. Let me find it. Layout. Let's do, Let's try that one maybe. I don't know what I'm doing. All right, let's try it. I don't know. I'm going to have to mess with the dang settings again, I guess. Which is okay. Y'all know I'm just learning this stuff. I am just learning it. Hang on, let me look at it now. Who is calling me at this moment? It'll be okay. As long as you guys can hear it, that's all that matters. I just got a text from Mr. Trump. Why are you texting me? Why are you texting me, Mr. Trump? Damn, this layout is horrible. What have I done? Let me see. Hold on, you guys can do it with me here. Hang on. Hold on. As long as you guys can hear it, I'm fine. You just have to look at my ugly mug a little more. I promise I will go in and change it for next time, so y'all don't have to look at this the whole time. Okay, I like to be littler. There, I'm down here. Hey, everybody. Hey, Jack, hope you're feeling better. Now, how you running errands if you got the Rona, Jack? Seriously, what are you doing? You better double masked. Hey, May May. Hey, Katie Ann. Hey, Karen with a C. Uh-oh, 2 cents. 2 cents is here to give us their 2 cents. I put myself in a corner, Chai. For real. There's a lot of different things going on with StreamYard. They've added a bunch of stuff. I'm kind of loving it, right? Oh, you had to pay your rent? Well, if you're mad at your landlord, I guess that's what you do. You go pay him rent. Okay, so anywho, I don't mind being down here. I don't. Whoop, whoop. I still got my ruler. Where's my ruler? Oh, here's my ruler. I know y'all can see it. You can probably see it better this way. Da, 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 da. Oh, island girl. I want to be an island girl. Island boys wouldn't have nothing on us, would they, island girl? Oh, you put it in the drop box? Did you spray it with Lysol first? Marie's working. Marie's boss, she needs a break right now, okay? Would you give Marie a break right now? Thank you very much, sir, ma'am, whoever. There's the wise old lady in the house. Okay, so let's listen to this. I'm going to give a little commentary on it. Then we're going to go over and look at this restraining order information from, it's very interesting. I had not personally read it before, and I was kind of excited when I found it. So, give myself a good slap with the ruler. Girl, I beat myself up all the time. You know, I do. Lisa, did I say hi to Lisa? Okay, here we go.
All right, I am Eric Craddock, ERICCRADDOCK, and I'm the Chief Deputy at the Sumner County Sheriff's Office. I was joined today by Susan Nyland, SUSAN, NILAND, of the Tennessee Bureau of Investigation. She's the PIM. I also have with me Sumner County Emergency Management Director Ken Widener, KENWEIDNER.
Yeah, it's really bad out, so I know that if a lot of people don't come in, the weather is horrible in some places. And please, people, be careful, okay? Just please be careful because it is really bad out. Hey, Angie's Live.
You guys ready? All right. Morning. I'm Eric Craddock with Sumner County Sheriff's Office, and we're going to come to you today with an update on the Sebastian Rogers case. Sebastian has been missing since late February. The investigation remains ongoing with steadfast support from the Sumner County Sheriff's Office, the Tennessee Bureau of Investigations.
And I do have the closed caption on if anybody's watching. I do have the closed caption on. He's kind of speaking low right now, but they get it fixed, so you'll be able to hear him.
And many other local and federal resources. We are exploring every lead that comes in and every tip that comes in. As I said before, the investigation remains ongoing. The entire community is deeply saddened by what has occurred. We're all extremely concerned for Sebastian's welfare. I want to encourage the community to stay vigilant, to report anything that they think may be of some significance to the investigation, no matter how minute it may appear to be to you. Please call 1-800-TBI-FIND with any tips, or the Sumner County Emergency Communications Center at 615-451-3838. We understand the anxiety and the concern that this case has caused in the community. We too share the anxiety and concern for Sebastian. I want to reiterate that we are doing everything we can to find Sebastian and bring him home. Despite the passage of time, the commitment to finding Sebastian remains unwavering. I said this when we scaled the search back. Our commitment to finding Sebastian remains. We will continue to investigate every possible lead that comes in. The Sumner County Sheriff's Office wants to express our gratitude to the community and the many individuals who have helped in the search, the many individuals who have called in tips, the many individuals who have printed flyers and kept Sebastian's face in the news. Nothing would make me happier than to wake up tomorrow morning with a tip that cracks this case wide open and we find Sebastian and bring him home. At this time, I'll turn it over to Susan Allen from the TBI.
All right, here we go.
Hi, good morning. Thanks for being here. We know how invested everybody is in the search for Sebastian, in finding out what happened to him and bringing him.
Let me say this. This woman, along with Leslie Earhart, in my mind, are badasses, okay? They take control, okay? They speak the truth, I think, anyway.
Him home. And we want to let everybody know he has not been forgotten. Nobody's forgotten about him. Nobody has given up looking for him. At the beginning of this investigation, there was a large land search for him. It was very visible. There were also waterways, lakes, ponds that were searched. There were aerial searches with helicopters and drones and fixed wing planes. They were done at night. They were done on weekends. They were done during the day. That was very visible, and it was something everybody was able to see. But we want to let you know that even though there is not that high visibility in investigating this case, that we are not done. It's gone back to what could be considered good old-fashioned police work. Interviewing individuals, re-interviewing individuals, checking out leads, rechecking leads.
So this is what she's saying. They're questioning everybody all over again and re-questioning everybody all over again. I think Sebastian would have shown himself by now if he was hiding out. Not unless he's somewhere and he's hurt, right? If he's somewhere and he's hurt, it may be a different ball game for him altogether. And just to remind everybody, this weather, right? And and I hate to say this, if he has accidentally fell in the water or something, with the weather and stuff like that, it's it's very sad. The whole thing is just sad, period, anyway.
We have been working with other law enforcement agencies who have had, in other jurisdictions, who have perhaps had some complex cases of their own that they have worked on to get tips from them. We have had, this day of technology with everyone having cell phones and doorbells and ring bells and surveillance cameras. That, as you can imagine, has been a bit of a chore to be able to collect all those and then review them. It's important so we know what's out there. We have been reviewing that, reviewing it again. We have had other agencies involved. The FBI has been helpful in that. Secret Service has also been helpful in that. So we are just trying to do whatever we can.
This is the thing, wise old lady, about the FBI needing to go to Alaska to, because Chris's parents went to Alaska. From the way I've understood it, and this is just the way I've understood it, Chris did not want the responsibility of Sebastian any longer. Sebastian was going to go live with his dad. I'm sure that law enforcement has talked to all of them people. Secret Service is involved, wise old lady. Secret Service is involved. Along with, I'm sure, the FBI, not only the TBI and local law enforcement. So if Secret Service wants to go to Alaska, they're going to go to Alaska. It's not going to matter. Hey, Exploited. That's just my opinion, though. Okay.
And to advance the investigation. It has not gone to a place where anybody has forgotten about him or is not pursuing this. The parents have been cooperative throughout at the beginning of the investigation. They have pretty much done whatever law enforcement has asked of them. At this point, we don't have any evidence. There is not any kind of an indication that there is a criminal element involved. But we are keeping options open. We don't know what has happened. We don't know where Sebastian is right now. So we are pursuing any and all avenues. We do want to caution there are some social media elements out there who purport to have information that is direct from the investigation. I just want to reiterate that is not the case. Some of the information that is being provided on some of the social media channels is inaccurate, incomplete. We don't want this to damage the investigation. So we would just caution anyone who is following the case to just use some caution as to what you see and what you believe. It's caused a bit of a distraction because a lot of what has been out there in some of the social media channels has been rumors and speculations and theories, and some of that has been advanced and people have caught a hold of it as if it's what's really happening.
Did you hear that, class? Ding, ding. Mamie, I'm getting ready to, I'm going to let you know what the Secret Service, why they're involved with Sebastian case, okay? I'm not going to forget you, honey. No, stone cleft unturned is always good. Stone cleft. But that is Chris's daughter, wise old lady. There's a difference between someone's own child compared to the fifth or sixth wife's child by somebody else, right? Oh, thank you, Flies. I can just pop right over there. Girl, you're so sweet. You are the sweetest. Just don't tell anybody I said that about you. We're supposed to not like each other, lady. Lady. Hey, lady. Thanks, lady. Yes, Chris had a lot of wives. He did. Okay, wait, because I got to pull up my own chat. I gotta pull up my chat. It's like pulling up my boots. Lord have mercy. How can you guys even listen to me? I cannot go back and listen to myself. Cotton candy boobs. Girl, I'm still trying to think a song for you. If you want good boobs, get some cotton candy boobs. Lord. Lord, girl, I'm trying not to sound perverted. Okay, hold on. Where are you at, flies? Dang it. Come back here, lady. Come back here, lady. Oh, no, you got me in the Secret Service app. Have I done anything wrong? I don't think so. Got the booby on the tubie. Cotton candy booby. Okay. All right. Let me tell everybody what the Secret Service does for missing children. You took me straight to the site. I've never done anything wrong, Secret Service people. It's all Flies' fault. Well, they do share the threat assessment of public safety. Okay, let me, about us. What about us? What about all the times you said you had the answers? All right, I promise, May, I'll find it. I'm getting off track. I'll find it. I haven't, Secret Service. I swear I've done nothing wrong in my whole life. Except for there might have been one of those Quaalude things in high school. I swear I never done anything else. Your landlord was at the door? You should have said, knock 3 times on the ceiling if you want me. Oh my gosh. Okay, Secret Service, I'm going to go to your app here in a minute, but don't even try it, Secret Service.
That has resulted in us getting information that is either, like I said, distracting. It's taking away time and effort from what the agencies need to be doing as far as looking for Sebastian.
And this is very sad to me because everybody knows. I mean, we've seen it happen in other cases, right? Where, and it's not that everybody has bad intentions. Hello, Vic. So I am not saying that people who have called with, things that they feel in their heart might be what's going on. It's not that everybody has bad intentions, but when law enforcement is being overwhelmed and they do have to check out everything, no matter how silly it is, they have to check it out. What's up, Selena Dixon?
We have had so far, as of this morning, 314 tips that have come in through the tip line. It's been mentioned, but I'll say it again. It's 1-800-TBI-FIND. We are also taking tips through email, which is tips.
Hey, Sonia.
Tips to TBI, TBI, at tbi.tn.gov. What's next? We want people, as Chief Deputy said, to continue to remain vigilant, get Sebastian's picture out there, continue to share his picture, his information. Now that it's getting to be nicer, well, not today with the weather, but now that the weather has turned warmer, people may be more inclined to be in their yards. If you go out and see anything that looks different, let us know. Something where perhaps a teenager could have hidden. If you have a large amount of property in the area, or something that has any kind of holes or unstable footing or ledge.
And see, this is the thing too, because there's construction going on around in that area. Now, the thing that keeps coming back to my mind is the fact that it was said he did not have shoes on. He did not have shoes on. And it just, that sticks in my mind. It sticks in my mind that Mom didn't want to even say how many pair of shoes that he actually had. And I don't know why she would have thought that that was important. Okay. Now, another thing, because we know that that relationship between not only stepdad and mom is off, it's off, in my opinion, but also the relationship between mom, stepdad, and dad. That's off also. Okay. Lisa, I do not believe, let's see, when I showed Nancy Grace's interview the other day, the stepdad was trying to say that the dogs hid around the home and stuff, and that, from my understanding, is not true. So if I'm wrong about that and you guys know where to find it, please let me know. For real, is a really strange situation.
Where, again, where a teen could have gone to hide or to play, and you don't feel comfortable checking it out, let us know. We'll get somebody from law enforcement to go out there with you, or to check it out themselves. We just want to make.
Yeah, I played that yesterday, Cotton Candy Boobs. I'll pull that up and play that again too. Thank you for reminding me about that. I will play that again also.
Sure that every stone is unturned, that there's no stone left unturned, that we want people to make sure that we are looking everywhere we can. We do want to continue to get the tips, but please make it, don't provide information that you might have seen through social media channels.
Thank you, ma'am. This is the thing, and thank you for putting in my opinion on that, Hazel. I don't know about Chris Proudfoot, but I am not going to, personally myself, am not going to say that about Sebastian's mother. I believe that she loved Sebastian, but I believe that she loved Chris Proudfoot also. And this is just my opinion, you guys. He just seems like a very, very controlling individual. Very controlling.
If you have information about Sebastian, about conversations you might have had with him, things he likes to do, places he likes to go, any people he may have mentioned that are in his life, that could be helpful in finding out maybe what he was interested in. Finally, we want to thank the community. We want to thank the media. You guys have been really good about keeping his name in the public's eye. That's really important. And thank you for your diligence in providing that information out there. And as Chief Deputy said, we also want to thank the community. From the very first day, everybody has really been all in as far as whatever they can do to help in the search, to help.
I agree, Chai. I agree.
Providing water for the teams that were out conducting the ground searches. So thank you again to everybody. I'm going to pass it back to Eric Craddock.
And I hate to say this, you guys, but if there is a chance, and I do hate to say this because, you know, with all of these missing children, our hope is that they are, you know, alive and will come home alive. Um, but if Sebastian has fallen into that water, I was talking with someone about that, and I was like, well, for his weight, you would think that if you know if he drowned, he would have already surfaced. And they made a great freaking comment that with the weather and undercurrents, you know, the possibility. But it's been a long time, right? I think the mother was bored with Sebastian, maybe was seeing him through her husband's eyes and had enough. I think that's close, May. That's kind of close to how I feel. I don't think she was bored with Sebastian, but this is just my opinion, okay, you guys? And y'all know I give my opinion over here. I think that, you know, when I look at Sebastian's mother, she kind of reminds me, as far as her relationship with Chris Proudfoot, that you know, I think of Susan Smith, who we know what happened to her two boys because of a man who didn't want children. Okay. And not saying that this is what happened, but if maybe Sebastian got in trouble that night and mom was on the phone with stepdad, and, you know, stepdad, you know, was telling mom what needed to be done as far as with Sebastian. You know, yeah, I mean, there's a lot of different ways we can look at that. And if mom's being pressured because stepdad doesn't want to have responsibility for Sebastian anymore, you know, that is very sad. But that guy was married 5 times, okay? He was married 5 freaking times. And if mom was probably under pressure also, because she knew he had been married 5 times. And, you know, I kind of was he messing around with her before he got divorced from his 4th or 5th wife? I mean, that was probably a concern of hers also. Yeah, those scratches were very weird, Jenny. Very, very weird. I agree with that. I just can't, you know, for a fact say that they were caused by, you know, what they were caused by.
The weather is rolling in. We've got time for some questions. So, yes, ma'am.
I was a few minutes behind, so sorry if I missed it, but has there been any indication at this point of foul play or anything of that nature?
There is no evidence to support foul play is involved in the disappearance of Sebastian.
But at this point, you don't rule it out.
We're not ruling anything out.
So 5 weeks and
Not ruling anything out. Not ruling anything out. I'd have to check to see exactly why the lady. I don't know that off the top of my head. Somebody in my chat probably does. Does anybody know exactly how long that Chris Proudfoot and Sebastian's mom was together even before they got married? We might have more answers when I read the court papers also.
you guys covered so much ground. Searching, going back, researching, checked out every case of a possible sighting, nothing confirmed. Not a trace of Sebastian anywhere. Nothing.
Now, what you have to remember is the verbiage, May. He said, at this time, we don't believe there was foul play, but everything is still on the table. 7 to 8 years. Yeah, I thought that they were together for quite a while. He was 8 when they got together. So that's 7 years. 7 years he was a part of Sebastian's life.
No footprints, no video, nothing.
Nothing that is taken us to locate Sebastian.
And are there any working theories?
We come up with theories almost daily and try and investigate and make sure that we're doing everything we can to find Sebastian.
Share any of those?
No, sir.
2 questions. Have you ruled out Sebastian's mom and stepdad's involvement in the case? And as a follow-up, have you cleared their alibi?
I think the TBI said it best. They've been nothing but cooperative with law enforcement since day one of this investigation. There is no evidence to support foul play on the part of Sebastian's parents.
Interfering at all with your investigation? Is it changing possibly?
Sebastian's parents, they are working with law enforcement to find him. No foul play as far as the parents. And look, we don't know what Sebastian's dad and mom have gotten together and actually talked with law enforcement. One thing I was very happy to find out was that mom and dad together went and talked to the TBI. I thought that was a very important statement by mom and dad both, that they could go together and go into the TBI and have a conversation about their son. So, to me, that was something, that was something we need to remember also. News reporter that put, the flashlight video. Boy, there were a lot of people that said a lot of stuff about that flashlight video, right? Then they said it was garbage trucks, right? Okay, I'm pulling that up.
No, sir.
You mentioned you were asked about recent evidence. We heard some rumors that didn't seem to have validity, that there were glasses found within the past few days. Can you confirm that?
There were some glasses found in the past few days.
Or have you been able to identify the report?
We are still investigating.
And on the Cajun meeting, have you found how was that coordination happening? Have you found their work helpful? Are you guys working in unison or separately?
The Cajun Navy is operating independently. They have not reached out to us.
Have you found their investigation or their work helpful, or has it been one of the distractions that have been mentioned?
One of the things that I really appreciate they've done is print flyers and keep Sebastian's face out there. It's my hope that one day somebody sees something and calls in and this case breaks wide open and we find Sebastian.
Now, what I think would be interesting, and they're probably going to keep it close to the vest, is that where Sebastian's glasses were found. They haven't said, May. They have not said where the glasses have been found. They have not said that. So, probably they're keeping that close to the vest. Hey, Stephen. At these press conferences, it would be nice if they could mic up the people asking. I know, Miss Justice. I was thinking about that. Because, I know a lot of people don't physically watch me. They just listen. But I do try to put the closed caption up. So I should be saying the questions that they're asking also. I apologize for that. I will get better. I promise. Who we got? Did I miss anybody? Did I miss anybody? If UCM put out flyers, they hid them in Easter eggs. I was all over Hendersonville yesterday and didn't see any. We're going to talk about that too. We are going to talk about the United Cajun Navy that, look, that's an organization that got together with Hurricane Katrina to help people. You know, they rescued people from their homes and stuff, I believe, and then they help out with, you know, looking for missing individuals. And it's beyond my comprehension why they would stop. I don't know who threatened to unalive them or whatever, but they just, boom, we're out, right? Boom, we're out.
They've claimed they've received threats. To your knowledge, have they filed any police reports or reports to the sheriff's department documenting any of these alleged threats?
No, sir.
Now, I'm gonna rewind this just a tad because I got a little confused when I heard that. If he was asking if Chris and Mom had threats is why they left, or are they still talking about the Cajun Navy? So let's I want to hear this again.
One day
Sorry.
somebody sees something and calls in, and this case breaks wide open, and we find Sebastian.
They've claimed they've received threats. To your knowledge, have they filed any police reports or reports to the
Okay, wait. Sorry, I didn't back it up enough. I didn't rewind it enough. I'm sorry I said the other thing. The Easter Bunny hopped right past me. He was dinner for not leaving me my... You ate the Easter Bunny, May May? Oh, May May. Remind me to tell you about when I saved a bunny's life. Because I did. I saved his life.
His parents.
Is that moving to Memphis interfering at all with your investigation? Is it changing possibly the avenues of communication?
No, sir.
You mentioned your last about recent evidence. We heard some rumors that you received tests of validity, that there were glasses found within the past few days. Can you confirm that?
There were some glasses found in the past few days.
Word.
But I wonder where they were found at, mister. That would be so important if they told us where the glasses were found out and if they were actually Sebastian's. Because we don't know. We don't know. They're not telling us if they're Sebastian's or not. I would think that Mom and Dad would definitely know if they were Sebastian's or not.
Have you been able to identify that they were Sebastian?
We are still investigating.
And on the Cajun Navy, have you found how is that coordination happening? Have you found their work helpful? Are you guys working in unison or a separate team?
The Cajun Navy is operating independently. They have not reached out to us.
That's interesting, right? Because didn't Cajun Navy, the guy that was on Nancy Grace, say that they were working in tandem with law enforcement? Oh, you're at the racetrack in Tennessee right now, Stephen? I don't want to dox you. Okay, Flies, be careful. Be very careful. If anybody has to leave because weather's getting bad, please do so, okay? Please do so. I do appreciate everybody being here with me, though. Yep, Stephen, don't be speeding.
Have you found their investigation with their work helpful, or has it been one of the distractions that have been mentioned?
One of the things that I really appreciate they've done is print flyers and keep Sebastian's face out there. It's my hope that one day somebody sees something and calls in, and this case breaks wide open, and we find Sebastian.
They've claimed they've received threats. To your knowledge, have they filed any police reports or reports to the sheriff's department documenting any of these alleged threats?
No, sir.
Are we able to learn anything about what those threats are?
They would have to call the police and report them.
So, UCN says they've received threats, but not enough to where it bothered them enough to call law enforcement, right? Work sent you home early because of the storms. Please, everybody, be careful. I worry about people in storms. I've lived a lot of places where the storms get really bad. I lived in Kansas. They were real bad there. Louisiana, of course, they were bad there. You know, here I don't think they're as bad. I mean, we've had bad storms, but yeah. So please be safe, everybody.
Where does the search go from here? It's been 5 weeks, there's been no signs. Do you believe he's still alive? And what are you guys going to continue working on?
My hope and prayer is that Sebastian is still alive. Yes. We're going to continue to work on this investigation, follow up every tip and lead that comes in. Some of this may revert back to us going over some things that we've already done for the 6th, 7th, or 8th time. A fresh set of eyes never hurt anything. We're going to continue to work to find Sebastian.
Has the story been changing at all? Have you been talking with people, interviewing them for a second time possibly?
There is no evidence to support foul play.
No evidence.
We have tips called in daily.
Any of those tips seem legitimate enough to expand law enforcement resources?
Regardless of their legitimacy, we're going to follow up on them.
Will there be any other agencies pulled in to help in the search efforts for this case?
I'm certain there will be.
You met
Now, this is interesting because he is asked, are there any other agencies that are going to be called in? And he said, I'm certain there will be. I will play that one more time.
Agencies pulled in to help in the search efforts for this case?
I'm certain there will be.
You met with the biological father and mother this past week. Is that at their request, your request? Is that just re-interviewing them again?
That was at the request of law enforcement. It's not uncommon to talk to the family in investigations like this. I've got time for one more question.
Just overall, how has this investigation impacted the morale at your department, especially with all the scrutiny coming online?
Let me put it to you like this. If my kid was missing, this is the team I'd want on it. The men and women of the Sumner County Sheriff's Office, of the Tennessee Bureau of Investigations, the FBI partners, the other local agencies, the Secret Service, everyone who's had a hand in this case is doing everything they can to find Sebastian. Morale's high. We are here.
Okay, now from what I understand about the Secret Service being intertwined in this case, I'm sorry, you guys, I got to put my face cream on. My face is really dry. Is because of the land, right? From my understanding, they do assist in some missing persons cases, and they are checking into the Secret Service can actually go look on government land, right? Private property, government owned land. That's from my understanding. I don't think there's really any other reason. Yeah, you're right, Katie Ann. I would think that they wouldn't want to release where they found the glasses. There would be many, many, many people going to that area for sure. And, you know, the thing about it is, you know, the more people searching, of course, it's wonderful. But where they got to be careful is because, you know, even though, you know, people are just the most good-hearted people, you know, sometimes, you know, they may not understand and they may grab something that they shouldn't. And you guys know it's very important when you're in search teams to, you know exactly if you find any evidence, what to do with that evidence. And that's one thing that I kind of thought the United Cajun Navy was doing was at least getting people organized and, sending certain teams out, knowing where the teams were at, and things like that. Now, I did hear something else about the Cajun Navy. I don't know if it's true or not, and we were trying to find if it was true or not. So I don't know if this is true. Hey, say what? Say what? Hey, Virgo Angel. Is that, of course, hey, Bren, how are you? Of course, from what I heard, the Cajun Navy was asking for individuals' IDs, driver's license, which I kind of understood that because I can't remember the little boy's name, but there was a little boy that got lost in Florida. Okay. He couldn't be found. And when they were sending searchers out, they were actually taking their IDs and driver's license to run a check on them just to make sure that they were not registered RSOs and things like that. Because when you got a little missing 2-year-old, the last people that you want out looking for that child on their own is somebody who may take that child, find that child, and take that baby and do harm to that baby. And thank God, I remember the little 2-year-old was found. Actually, I was on a live, and it was some of the first lives that I ever did. And I was so excited that this little boy was found. I wish I could remember his name, but I was so excited that while I was live that he was actually found. It was a good day that day.
Here, and we are dedicated. Thank you all for being here today. Thank you for keeping Sebastian in the public. Please continue to publicize this photo. Thank you all.
Okay, what I was going to say about that though is that we don't know if this is fact or not, but I'm going to say it anyway because if one of you guys know if this is fact or not, I would love to know. But someone had said, and like I said, I couldn't find anything on it, and neither could they. We looked everywhere. Something about the Cajun Navy was also asking for car, what was it? Car? Not the title, the I know what I'm talking about. I know what I'm talking about. You may not know what I'm talking about, but I know what I'm talking about. It's 420 somewhere. And it's usually here. Registration. Thank you, Miss Justice. Girl. Okay. So, glasses, very important. Yeah, I didn't hear about the registration. Like I said, I just heard that and I could not find anything. And, me and a person were talking about it. Neither one of us could find anything on it, but we heard it through the grapevine. So it's probably not true. Okay. Because I couldn't find anything on it. So it could have just came from somewhere else. So please do not go into another chat and say, oh, Remain Calm said the United Cajun Navy was asking for registrations. That is not what I'm saying. I thought it was kind of weird if they were doing that. Because why? Why would you need that? Okay. Let me get us a picture of Mr. Oh, okay. Okay, wait. I want to do the, okay. Where do I want to go? Where do I want to go? Okay. Let's, okay. It's been over a month since he's been missing from his home in Hendersonville. They've covered tens of thousands of miles looking for him, and there's been no signs of Sebastian. They do. Thank you, Bren. Thank you, Bren. Thank you so much. That means a lot to me, Bren. It really does. Thank you so much. So, one thing I'm going to say about this law enforcement agency, it seems like they are very compassionate to the public, right? It seems like they know, okay, May, but it's like they know, the anxiety and things that people are feeling, right? It seems like that. It seems like they're at least being very compassionate about those things. That's just the way it seems to me. Now, I'm trying not to make comparisons with the Summer Wells case, and I end up doing it with a few things in all of these missing child cases. If we look at Sheriff Lawson compared to this individual, I don't think that I don't think no matter what Lawson said, anybody was going to believe him anyway, right? He was running from someone. Hey, Isa Brown. I find it odd that a guy from Cajun Navy stated on Nancy Grace they were working closely with law enforcement TBI, but in press release stated they were not. Yeah, Isa Brown. Yeah. I mentioned that. I thought it was really weird that this guy went on Nancy Grace and was like, oh yeah, we're keeping up to date with law enforcement, and law enforcement says nope. I'm not sure what happened with the Cajun Navy, but they didn't report anything to law enforcement. They didn't report any threats to law enforcement. Why wouldn't you do that, right? I still think Mom is guilty of something. She does, she does make herself look guilty of some things. And we have to remember too, and I'm going to read these. I want to get over here and read these court transcripts, which are very interesting, y'all. And I've got to, hopefully I can share that on my screen. I've never shared a Reddit. Okay, this is from Reddit, and I'm telling you, I was surprised I found it. Well, that was what was weird, because on Nancy Grace, the guy talked about people acting like that they were affiliated with the Cajun Navy that really wasn't affiliated with the Cajun Navy. And now I'm like, well, wait, were you actually one of them people that wasn't affiliated with the original Cajun Navy? It was really confusing to me. Well, Kelly, there's a lot of, I think a lot of the drama in the case, comes from outside sources, if you know what I mean. It didn't help that Chris Proudfoot, went on, did these interviews, and Mom really didn't say a whole lot. And, he kind of took control of the ship that way. And I've never seen in Mom's position, thank the Lord. I know. Yeah, Bryn. The thing that keeps coming back to me with Mom is you have a man that she was with for a lot of years, who basically says, I don't want responsibility of your child any longer. Was she trying to save the marriage, or was she ready to walk away from that marriage also? Right? She has to walk past the kitchen to Sebastian's room and stated when he wasn't in there, she went to the kitchen to see if he was fixing his breakfast. She knows that she's not telling the truth. Yeah, that's one thing that I recognized too, was the contradictions in her statements. The contradiction of her actually, first it was, Sebastian went to bed at 9. I was on the couch, and at 10 talking to Chris Proudfoot. He tells me at midnight, hey lady, wake up, put the dogs up, you need to go to bed. First, I was under the impression that, around 10ish was the time that she heard Sebastian. But then I think that went even later, which was really weird to me. Also, something that really caught my attention in these interviews was one of the things she said about Sebastian was the fact that they were working on the bathroom. Were they literally remodeling the bathroom? Or we know that, because I'm getting ready to read to you, back when Sebastian was younger, he actually had, some problems in that, aspect of things. So he seemed to be incontinent, but I don't know. Okay. So this is his mom, and this is the court papers. Since returning from deployment in December, she was military, I have witnessed a multitude of events from Seth Rogers, Sebastian's father. I have seen him hit Sebastian in the head, neck, and back. I have witnessed him when he's taking his anger out on Sebastian, grab him with both hands. He would grab Sebastian with both hands and lift him up that way. Sebastian's entire body. And she says, slam him down and proceed to use hands on him, I will say. I'm gonna try really hard to dress some of these words up. It's very hard for me. He has on many cases whipped him with a belt, not paying attention to where he was hitting because he was angry. My neighbors informed me that during my duty days, they had seen Sebastian on multiple occasions coming outside the house, crying and looking for his dad because he had been gone for long periods of time and didn't know where he was. They told me that they would tell Sebastian to go back inside and lock the door when this would happen. Seth, on a regular basis, just walked into the living room without clothes on, not caring that Sebastian was in the area and could see it. On several occasions, when Sebastian expressed stress or anxiety about mom and dad's separation, Seth would get angry and tell Sebastian, this is all because mommy doesn't want to love daddy anymore. So, even back then when Sebastian was smaller, it sounds like he was being put into a situation where he was made to believe things that a small child, this stuff should never have been said to him. And, you know, it's sad to think that Sebastian went through this when he was younger. And now look what's going on with mom and stepdad, right? So, you know, like I talked about earlier, it's just, was mom, when she would get angry, would she say things like, and I don't know, okay, these are just questions. You know, would she say things like, you know, your stepdad's leaving, it's all your fault? You know, I don't know. But it's just a question. You guys know I ask a lot of questions. Hey, Patricia. All she's accounted for, does that include his boots? From my understanding, I think that yes, the boots are accounted for. But what threw everybody off about the shoes themselves was, why would you lie about how many pair of shoes your son has, right? Yes, Isa Brown. This is from this is filed by Katie about Seth when they were divorcing. This is for the restraining order, I believe. I'll know when I get to the bottom because it's signed and stuff. So Seth was, Katie saying, kind of being inappropriate in front of Sebastian by not wearing clothes and saying, you know, things to him that shouldn't have been said to him. Now, school, this is interesting because by the second week of school, the teachers had already requested that the principal be present anytime that Seth were due to him making them uncomfortable. So when this is when Sebastian was younger, right? This is 2016. This is filed in 2016. So that would have put Sebastian at 15. About 8, 7 or 8, right? Or am I calculating wrong? I don't know. I don't have my calculator. This was never brought to fruition. Seth is in law enforcement. He was getting custody of Sebastian once school was out. I don't see now how this could have been true, and they have joint custody. I mean, that is a great statement, Angela. But obviously, Sebastian was older. He had been going and spending time with his dad. His dad actually moved, I believe it was from California to Tennessee to be close to Sebastian. From what we're getting anyway, was that his true reasoning for moving to Tennessee? I don't know. They did mention him having a pair of slippers, right? I believe Seth is the one who mentioned Sebastian having a pair of slippers. So when they went to the school to meet his teachers before the school year had started, they had just finished explaining to Sebastian's they had just finished explaining Sebastian's diagnosis and about the fluid on his brain. And she is saying Sebastian did something that irritated Seth, and Seth responded by basically doing this whacking him in the head, and in front of the teachers. And when Katie addressed it, he said, and said that he couldn't do that and cannot keep doing that because it was wrong. He said it wasn't that hard and is fine, and people need to quit telling him how to raise his son. Wow, not a good look. Not a good look. Okay, so she said when she took the restraining order to the school is when she learned they had contacted CPS a week prior. The social worker and myself have seen behaviors from my son, such as waking up, screaming, and kicking in the middle of the night with terrors, fear of making a mistake, fear that daddy would beat him. Now, this is very interesting, those words. If Sebastian was having these emotions, right? If Sebastian was feeling that way at a young age, what was his reactions and his feelings being older and dealing with the punishments that Chris Proudfoot would give him? You guys get what I'm saying? Does that make sense? I don't know if that matters, Angela. I don't know. I mean, I don't know. But I've got the divorce stuff. I'll do that too. So, ow. This is what she said. He had an accident at school where he wet his pants and was terrified for his dad to find out. He is displaying aggressive behaviors that mirror what his father says and does. Which is interesting because if Sebastian was already, from what Katie says, reacting aggressively to what his dad was doing, what about when he's older? And not only does he have the, from what Katie says, the reactions that from his own dad, but he's older now. And what about the reactions when he was being punished by Mr. Proudfoot? I don't know, just kind of a question there. So at that time, Katie said she spoke to a doctor, got a referral for therapy that they were going to start as soon as possible to recover from the trauma. She says that Seth had been monitoring all my phone calls and not allowing me to speak with anyone, including family, without listening. He had been monitoring, God, I can't even talk, every text and call that I make to patronize me and keep me from telling people exactly what's been going on, hovering over every call I make. And what came straight to my mind was the fact of her saying that the morning before, which would have been Sunday morning, right? Sebastian called family to brag. Now, she said they had a fun breakfast, spaghetti pancakes or whatever. And, but Sebastian liked to brag. And I was always curious on what exactly Sebastian was bragging about, right? For starters, she was cheating on Seth with Chris. He wanted proof. Okay. That stuff, I really don't care about all that stuff. Cheating on each other or whatever. It's how Sebastian was treated that interests me. Like I said, if Chris Proudfoot, the man was married many times, and not saying that it happens every time, but usually when someone is married that many times, they're always looking for the next better thing, right? To them, the grass is always greener, and on the other side of the hill. And, some people are just like, girl, I can't say a whole lot. My mama was married 5 times. My mama was married 5 times. I just don't understand parents who harm a child. I don't understand how anyone can hurt another living person or animal. It's just unthinkable to hurt. I know, May. I know. Okay, Kiki, be careful. Infidelity has no importance in this case. Yeah, I agree with you, Isaac Brown. But it's interesting. Don't get me wrong. It's interesting. But I don't, because this is what I said from the get-go. Oh boy, Chris Proudfoot wasn't home with his wife. He was working out of town. He had been gone a little while. This weird guy tells us that he cannot talk about where he was even before the month of, what was it, February? He wasn't there. And I can't talk about anything before that because law enforcement doesn't want me to talk about it. I'm like, no, dude, you don't want to talk about it because your ass is going to get busted out because you was messing around. You was a messing around, mister. Okay, so Seth had been listening and, hovering over every call. So on June 5th of 2016, Seth was very angry and belligerent, stormed out of the house, got into the Chevy Cruze and peeled tires out of the parking lot. 30 minutes, give or take, he came back, pulled in crooked and fast, jumped out of the car and ran inside the house looking for his pew-pew, stating that he was going to unalive that. The neighbor was over at the time and recorded him during that time. So Katie says, she's like, if you take your pew-pew and try to unalive someone, you'll end up in jail. And that he couldn't do that. So the neighbor went outside with Seth, spoke to him, and where he stated that someone followed him and threw a soda at the car, which she says soda was all over the outside and the inside of the car. Well, Seth, I think that you probably were angry and had a little road rage, and you probably ticked somebody off, and they probably threw a soda at your car. Yes, that's what I see, Isaac Brown, that, unfortunately, that's my opinion too, that all of this only shows that, Sebastian's life was turmoil a lot, right? Oh, yeah, Chai, I don't know. He's a womanizer. But I don't know. honestly don't believe that Chris Proudfoot found a woman that would do something to Sebastian. I don't see that. I don't see that at all. You too, Nada. You be safe too. Okay. Oh, Lord. All right, wait a minute. Let me rewind that a little bit. So the neighbor went outside. He said somebody threw a soda at the car. But listen to this. And pulled him out of the car through the driver's side window and whacked him in the face. Now, I ain't never known of somebody get ticked off and throw a soda at a car and just pull him out and whack him in the face. What did you do there, Seth, that upset someone? We know he left. He was upset. So, road rage incident. The neighbors also complained that Seth made him feel uncomfortable because they said he is standing out front confronting everyone when they come home or watching them. Seth, why are you doing that? That's weird. So one of the neighbors is in the process of adopting, and they have people come to their house on a regular basis. Katie says she caught Seth approximately a month before confronting the guy because he parked in his spot and telling him he doesn't care who the F he is, and that if he does it again, he'll take action to have his car towed or beat his ASS. Now, when he did it, it happened to be a social worker who was there to check their home, and he knew it. Not their home, but the neighbors who were adopting. Wow. Seth, you were an angry guy. You were angry. You were an angry guy. Now, has it changed? Because Sebastian's older? Maybe it's not as bad. I don't know. These are just questions that I'm asking. And if this information is factual, Sebastian could very well have been given to someone who is hiding him. Yeah, but no, I don't know. I don't believe that. I don't believe that his mom would do that. Why would she have anything to hide? I mean, all she had to do was possibly go back to court. There wasn't, from my understanding, there was no issue that Sebastian was going to go live with his dad. They never said there was a problem, and that's why Sebastian was going. Or from what I know, Sebastian was just going to go live with his dad, right? Okay, let me find this other one. Hold on. Hold on, you whippersnappers. Okay, let me see if I can find this other one. Now, let me tell you guys something. These pictures, you really can't see anything. I'll show them to you, but you really can't see anything. Trigger warning. Yeah, those pictures are, I don't know. I didn't know. But let's get off of there. Okay, let me find what I'm looking for. All right, you guys, let me find what I'm looking for. Darn it. Shooty pooty. Okay, hang on. Let me see. Here we go. Dang, I'm learning. I am learning. So this is Seth's response. Okay? This is Seth's response to everything that was going on. Now, the reason I'm reading this to you guys is because it's very interesting that what Seth actually says in this basis for the restraining order. And, you know, he's given his side of it. He's actually fighting this restraining order and saying that it is not true. So I'm just going to read a little bit to you guys. As a result of these baseless allegations, I respectfully request the court's request. The court denied Katie's request for a permanent domestic violence restraining order. There's no basis for her claim. She fails to prove conduct under the Domestic Violence Prevention Act that would justify a restraining order. In her request, Katie claims that on August 28, 2016, I was being highly aggressive in my mannerisms and verbally watching her in her sleep, and I yelled at her because she is not willing to slap her son around. This is not true, and even if it was, it would not be the basis for the restraining order. So Katie's also saying that August 28th, that she was saying Seth was highly aggressive in his mannerisms and verbally, that he was watching her sleep and yelled at her because she was not willing to punish Sebastian, which is weird that he would say, even if that was true, it would not be a basis for a protection order. Okay. He said what actually happened on this day is that I was having a difficult time with our son. He refused to do anything I asked of him. I asked him to clean his room. He said no. And that he didn't have to listen to me or do anything I asked him to do. And he told me I should apologize for asking him to clean his room. So Seth is saying he asked Sebastian to clean his room. He says no, and you should apologize to me for asking me to clean my room. Okay? How come that doesn't make a lot of sense? I would hope that there are a lot of people who do know about this case, right? Okay, so he says, I attempted to appropriately discipline him by sternly telling him that under no circumstance should he ever speak to any adult, let alone his mother and father, that way, the way he spoke to me. After this, Sebastian ran downstairs to Katie, jumped in her lap, and started saying he hated me and that he wished I would leave and never come back. After Sebastian seemed to calm down a bit, I want you guys to listen to this. Listen. After Sebastian calmed down a bit, Katie got up from the chair she was in and walked outside. Sebastian, Seth is saying, Sebastian approached him and told him that he loved him and wanted to live with me after all. I'll tell you why that kind of went right into my brain. Do you guys remember what Chris Proudfoot said? He would discipline he would discipline Sebastian, right? And Sebastian would, you know, he would give him the you know, I'm an adult and one day you're gonna, you know, realize what I'm telling you is right. And what would Sebastian do? What would Sebastian do? Chris Proudfoot said Sebastian would hug him and tell him he loved him, right? And for some reason, the way that I think about that is sometimes children want the ones who are not being very nice to them, I'll say. That's the ones the children want to love them. I don't know, just weird. Anyhow, after the incident, I was very upset, but I was never violent in any way. Our neighbor was in the house and she said something about being uncomfortable. I told our neighbor I was going to just get some coffee and go outside to be alone. When I did, our neighbor followed me outside and asked me what was wrong. I told her how I was feeling and asked her just to let me calm down and compose myself. At no point did I act violently toward her or anyone else in the house, and I never yelled at Katie because she wouldn't harm our son. Nor was there any threat of violence. Katie claimed on August 22nd, 2016, I was being belligerent and yelling at her and our son. This is not true, and even if it was, it would not be the basis for a DVRO. Okay? What actually happened on this day was Katie and I were arguing about how we were going to proceed with the divorce. The divorce had been filed. We were still residing in the same house, which created a lot of tension. Although we argued, I never once acted violently and never once did I encourage her to do things to our son, as she alleges in the pleadings. During our argument, I left the residence, slammed the door. Her claim that I broke the door is false. The door was already broken before I slammed it. Again, there was never any violence, nor was there any threat. So Katie also claims that on August 11, 2016, I was angry at our son and that our son told her that I had physically touched him. I hit him, okay? I'm gonna let me rewind that a minute because I don't want people to take that wrong. I said that wrong. So I'm just going to have to say it how it's meant to be said. On August 11, 2016, I was angry at our son and that our son told her that I hit him. The truth is I never put a hand on our son. Our son suffers from a rare condition called 6q27 chromosomal deletion syndrome. Among the symptoms he suffers from are incidents of acting out. This is very important, okay? Well, it is her and Seth's son, Debbie. This is Seth. So this is Seth and Katie here. Chris Proudfoot is not mentioned in these papers. This was back in 2016. So their son suffers from a rare condition called 6q27 chromosomal deletion syndrome. Among the symptoms, he suffers from are incidents of acting out where he hits himself, bites himself out of frustration. He has been known to throw himself to the ground during these incidents. It's a very common thing for him, and others have witnessed him doing this. I have filed here within declarations from some of these witnesses. So Seth is showing witnesses, right? No, this is Seth, Debbie, I'm talking about. Well, Kiki, you better get somewhere safe. Along with fight, flight, or freeze defense mechanisms, there is also fawning, attempting to appease a perceived threat. Absolutely, Miss Justice. Well put, darling. So, on August 11, 2016, Sebastian suffered from an episode in which he hurt himself out of frustration. Now, the reason why I think that is very interesting, even though this was back in 2016, no one has said that that Sebastian's condition had went into remission, right? I mean, they said that they took him and 2023 and autism was mentioned. Key words in what Katie was saying was the hug technique, right? The hug technique. And Sebastian was 15. So if Katie was still trying to use that, there are times when, and not saying that the children mean to, but in the process of, being held, they will at times maybe headbutt, bite, and I'm not saying that it's done intentionally by any child, for real. But it's, it is something that they do. So, okay. Sebastian suffered from an episode on August 11, 2016, which he hurt himself out of frustration. I had told him that day if he cleaned his room, he could go swimming. I asked him if his room was clean. He said that it wasn't. I told him he couldn't go swimming until it was clean. Sebastian reacted by flying into a rage, screaming and hitting himself, biting himself, and trying to throw himself on the floor. I reached out to catch him before his head hit the door frame. At no time did I ever hit him or display any violent actions towards him at all. It should be noted, Katie never called the police. Katie never took Sebastian for any medical care as a result of this alleged incident. Katie never took action Katie never took action whatsoever consistent with a parent whose child has been ABUSED'd. Katie's allegations that I ABUSED'd Sebastian in any way is completely false. There's a lot here. All right, I've been on here 139. Here we go. I got OCD. I'm going to have to finish it. Let's take a moment here. Let's just take a moment here in what we've heard, right? So this is very telling. This tells us about Sebastian's condition. And like I said, if he was still at 15 acting out, I don't want to call it acting out, right? Hey, Witty Widow. I don't want to call it acting out because it's, to me, it's not acting out. Okay. It's something with his condition, you know, that, it I don't want to look at it like, oh, Sebastian was a spoiled brat. He didn't get what he wanted. You know, and this was his reaction. So I don't want to put that out there in the universe, right? At all. I'm glad I found it, Shy. I'm glad I found it because I kept wondering where it was at. Okay, so now we're going to get into some other allegations. Katie claimed that I yell and scream at her with bald fist and makes a vague allegation that I do substances. These are both untrue. As set forth above, we do argue because we're going through a divorce and live in the same house. Of course, things are stressful. However, I never ball up my fist at her, and I've never acted violently towards her. The only substances I ever consume are my medications as prescribed by my doctor. Dang. Seth had 9 herniated discs. Wow. A torn meniscus in his left knee. 3 tears in his right shoulder. Dang, Seth. You got a lot going on there, man. He attended physical therapy as a result. And he was saddened that Katie used his injuries and prescriptions for medication as ammunition for a vague accusations that I do substances. Now, a lot of people have medications that they do, and, you know, they can be prescriptions, but to me, there's a line drawn between taking your prescriptions as needed and, you know, overtaking them or abusing them, you know. I don't know, Debbie. He's a prison guard, isn't he? That's what I was thinking. But anywho, he finds it ridiculous that Katie allegedly is in fear of him. Even if I was acting violently, which I was not, I would not be able to physically harm her due to my injuries. What a way to word that, Seth. Even if I was acting violently, I couldn't hurt her because I was in bad shape. Right. Okay, so anywho, while he's in great physical pain, Katie, by contrast, is not only physically healthy, but as she is in the Navy and is part of her shipboard security force, she has received training in physical combat techniques. She has no fear of me. Of course, we have heard this, that Katie is Taekwondo or something. So, do I think that Katie could have whooped Seth in a one-on-one? Seth's a big guy. He's a big guy. So, I don't know. I don't think I can really give my opinion on that. He finds it disheartening that Katie alleges that Sebastian has anything to fear from me. I have always been Sebastian's primary caregiver, as Katie is in the Navy and is stationed on board a ship. She works and is often deployed while I act as a stay-at-home dad. I care for Sebastian's day-to-day needs. This is a continuous task given his special needs due to his condition. I love it and I embrace it, even though it can be troubling at times. Sebastian and I have built a special bond due to the fact that I am always home with him, taking care of him. He has no reason to fear me. I don't know if I can be a... Oh, with the ponytail? Yeah, that's kind of creepy, right? I don't know if I'd want to be a man and work in a jail and wear a ponytail. But I don't know. I'm not a guy. I am not a man. I am woman. Hear me roar. But what I'm finding fascinating about these documents is the fact that it, I think, told us a lot about, you know, Sebastian and his illness and some of his reactions. I am not going to sit here and say that Seth is lying about these things with Sebastian. He was with him. He would know. And because the only reason I say that, and a lot of this is my opinion, okay? And you guys can have your own opinion. Absolutely, 1,000%. But I think that no one's ever said if Sebastian outgrew any of these behaviors. So, of course, when he's 7 or 8, you're going to be able to, you know, give the hug stuff or, you know, whatever. But that wouldn't be as easy for a 15-year-old. And even if, you know, Katie is trained in, you know, self-protection, whatever you want to call it, it would still be a very hard thing for her, I would think, to when possibly Sebastian would have a meltdown for something to transpire. He's always home with him. I thought he said he didn't know if he had a job to come back to because of searching. Well, this is the thing. This paper is from 2016, Debbie. Yeah, when he was younger. This was in 2016. And I think and I'll jump in here and give you a little boosty boost here, Debbie, for thinking that, because is he saying that now? Is he saying that he doesn't know if he's got a job to go back to now because he's been off so long looking for Sebastian? And also Chris Proudfoot, right? Chris Proudfoot also at first, you know, was told Nancy Grace or said that he didn't know if he had a job, but then him and Katie get in that RV to do what? Go back because he's got to go back to work. It's like, why bull crap over the simplest things? When people bull crap over the simplest things, that's when the questions start coming for me, for real. Okay, let me finish this. He believed Katie only filed in order to gain a tactical advantage in the divorce and specifically get him kicked out of the marital residence. Well, y'all were getting divorced anyway. You didn't think you were going to stay there. The living situation was quite stressful. They were going through a divorce while living together. He said, I believe Katie knew she could not remove me from the home without staging a DV incident. could possibly be true. I mean, he said it was totally unnecessary. He knew they couldn't live together any longer. He was willing to move out without a court order to do so. Plus, he stated, I know that she did not want me to have equal custody of Sebastian. So the DVRO is an attempt to ensure I do not see our son. Then they talked about attorney fees. So Katie wanted him to pay her attorney fees, but he talks about not working. He hadn't worked in a long time. He was a stay-at-home dad. Has Seth ever said what job he had before he got a job at the jail? Debbie, you don't have to shut up, girl. Okay, so he didn't want to pay the attorney fees and instead wanted her to pay his attorney fees, which is something they do with courts and stuff like that, so they always want somebody responsible to pay those attorney fees. He said that Katie and Sebastian had no reason to fear him. He said, I have never harmed, harassed, or threatened them. He says again that he believes Katie's doing this to getting kicked out of the marital home. And that he feels that she should pay his fees. Now, I don't know what this is, but these don't make any sense to me. I'm sorry. I don't know what that is. Now, this is from the sheriff. I don't know if I can make that any bigger, y'all. Okay. I can't read that anyway. Obviously, it was something that Seth had. It was a weapon. You may. Oh, it's a carry permit. They confiscated some weapons from him. And I can't even read the dates on this, so I don't actually know when that happened at all. But there you go, y'all. There you go. We were talking about the Secret Service. I have pulled it up. I'm not hearing a whole lot about the Secret Service. But let's listen to this retired FBI. Okay, hang on. Hold on. No. Is that it? Here, I'll pull it up. Hang on. Do. Oh, is there a commercial? Dang it. Gonna get a rope and hang it. That's not what I was looking for at all. I just had it. I don't know where it went. Doggy gone it. Okay, anyway, I'll pull that up some other time. Oh, wait, I got it right here. Hang on. Okay, let's listen to this real quick.
Continuing coverage now on the search for Sebastian Rogers. Concerns grow about whether this story can have a happy ending with each passing day. And joining us now to offer some insights into cases like this is retired FBI agent and author Scott Augenbaum, who makes his home here in Middle Tennessee. Scott, glad to speak with you again. And I have to believe over the years you've been involved in cases very similar to this.
I've seen this happen time and time again. It's heartbreaking. We're asking what happened because kids just don't disappear in thin air like this.
Scott, as an investigator, what would you be thinking about in this case after 5 days of searching and really no credible signs or sightings for a missing 15-year-old?
Yeah, that's why the investigators are going out. I'm telling you, behind the scenes, they're working 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. They're scouring the neighborhoods. They're asking for help. Because one of the things we need to rule out, was this an abduction? And this is the number one thing which is on everyone's mind right now. Was this child abducted?
Now, when you say that, at some point law enforcement has to consider not only were they abducted, but was it a stranger? How rare are cases like that?
We don't really see that happen a lot. A lot of times when these abductions happen, it's usually that somebody they know. So, but now they're trying to rule out everything over here. We can't leave any stones unturned.
Now, toward that end, we saw investigators return to the family home today with dogs, all manner of searching going on. And essentially, when you've exhausted everything else, you know, the area around the home and the neighborhood and the school and all that, do you have to almost go back to the beginning and start again?
Got to start from the beginning. You got to, and then spread out from there. These things don't take, sometimes they go on and on. I've been involved with, things that were kidnappings to missing persons. So it takes a lot of effort over here. And everyone's heart's breaking over here. The weather's cold. We've got to track this down.
You have to think about that too. Initially, you think, okay, we'll find them quickly. But as the time goes on, the child has to eat, they need shelter, and all sorts of other questions come up.
Especially with a special needs child. This is every parent's nightmare. And I can tell you right now, there are a lot of law enforcement officers working constantly, tracking down every type of lead.
Retired FBI agent and author Scott Augenbaum. Scott, thank you very much for joining us and sharing your thoughts.
Okay. All right, y'all. So it's just kind of scary that we have someone who left his home, a 15-year-old child who obviously has a lot of needs without shoes on. That was the first thing that caught my attention, was that he did not have shoes on. After 2016, we know that the situation with Seth and Katie, she was basically the breadwinner in the family. I'm curious to know how, what jobs that Seth may have had from the time that he and Katie divorced up until he got the job at the jail. I don't know if anybody can answer that, or if that question's even been asked. Not that it could be anything important. I'm just curious. I get curious. I have a lot of questions because that's just how I am. Yeah. But also I talked about the little things. If you're contradicting little things in interviews, and as we know, this is social media. Chris Proudfoot has said things like, to him, it wasn't no big deal. He would just come right out, well, we're not saying any medications because of the HIPAA laws. It was like, dude, all you had to do was say, look, yes, Sebastian was on medication in the evening, but we would prefer not to divulge exactly what kind of medicine it was, or even a yes would have sufficed instead of, well, we got HIPAA laws and blah blah. It's like, whatever, man. Whatever, dude. Freaking weirdo. Very, very weirdo. Is that the poster, Miss Justice? I can print that off on my printer. I printed one off for summer. I can print Sebastian's off too. But let me ask you guys this. Do you really believe that someone has... Do you think that someone has actually taken Sebastian? I mean... I don't know. It's very there it is. I got you. Oh, wait, I can print it out. Hang on. I haven't used my collar print in a while. Let's see what happens. I hear my printer. Oh shoot, it ain't got no paper. Hold on, y'all. Holy moly, guacamole. Oh, let's see what we get here, kids. No, I don't think it came out with a lot of color to it. I'll have to make it bigger. I think I had to push the color button on my printer itself. I'll print some of these up and take them up and stick them on some cars at the grocery store and stuff. I don't know. He didn't have access to social media, they said. He didn't have no friends. A lot of things you got to worry about. The fact that they talked about him not, him not having a sense of personal space and boundaries, which is very interesting. And, Chris Proudfoot talked about going and giving that girl at the Waffle House or wherever it was. I don't know where the girl was working. But Chris Proudfoot goes back and gives that girl Sebastian's phone number. And allegedly the girl gave Sebastian her phone number, right? Am I wrong about that? Because I think that's very important. I think that's something that should be important. But I don't know, y'all. It's just me. You know. So, all right, you guys, I'm going to get off here. Anybody got anything they want to say before I get off here? And thank you guys for coming over and hanging out with me. Thank you, Bryn, for the support. Thank you so much. I appreciate that so much. Thank you, Bryn. Dolly interviewed the guy that was with Seth when the glasses were found. The guy said all he could say they were not found near the home. He made it sound like it was far away from the home. Wait. Debbie. So you're telling me that Seth found the glasses? Or there was a guy with Seth when law enforcement found the glasses? So, wait, let me ask that again. So, law enforcement found the glasses, yes or no? Sometimes I get ahead of myself. I'll ask a question or something and no way, Debbie. No way. No freaking way. That says a lot to me. Wow. That's all I can say is wow. We got to talk about this some more. I can't do it tonight. I think I kind of like doing evening lives a little better because I have to get off at a certain time. I can't stay on here very long. I will. I'll go listen to I'd never go listen to them, but I will take a sneak peek at Dolly's and see. But that is a lot to say that of all people, Seth would find those glasses. I don't know. That doesn't sound right to me. It would have been different if a cop or law enforcement would have found them. But of all people, Seth, and he's not even looking around the home right now, right? Seth is quite a ways from home right now looking, right? Wow, that's okay. All right, you got me there, Debbie. You got me, girl. I don't know, Katie, but wow. But I'm going to get off here. Thank you guys for coming back and hanging with me tonight. We will definitely be talking about this again. My mind is going 1,000 different directions, and I apologize. I can't stay on here longer, but I need to get my butt off here. But I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. Thank you guys for being supportive of my channel. It means a whole lot to me. You'll have to give me your opinion. He made it sound they were far away. That's what I'm thinking. I mean, Dad just happens to find a pair of glasses being way far away from the house. I mean, that's a lot, girl. That's a lot. Oh, thank you, Chai. Thank you so much. I love you guys too. You guys have been real supportive of me, and I appreciate it. I do. It means a lot to me. And flies means a lot to me too, even though we don't like each other. I'm just playing. I'm playing, flies. Don't come for me. I would not want that girl trolling me. She's a very fun troll. If you guys ever see Fly, she says some of the funniest stuff. She's a good troll. She's got a good sense of humor. They don't know if they're Seth's or Sebastian's. They don't know if they're Sebastian's. Could Seth have had a pair of Sebastian's glasses at his home? What if, well, Sebastian had his glasses on allegedly all the time, right? I mean, you too, Vic. I love all my mods. You guys are so good. I appreciate you guys. Now, I knew what you were talking about, Debbie. I got you, girl. I knew what you meant. Okay. Well, we're definitely doing a part 2, y'all. We're definitely doing part 2. So prayers to everybody who needs it. Please, Storms are nothing to mess with. You know, please be careful. And, you know, take care of yourself. Hey, Pat, someone that was searching with Seth in the same party found the glasses. I mean, wow. Wow. That is so freaking mind blowing to me. And you better believe I'll probably have a lot to say about it tomorrow. So if possible, I might do it around the same time. I do want to get and talk about the Sean Puppy, whatever, comb stuff. It's really interesting, but it's a big can of worms, that case is. So, hey, was his, thank you. Thank you so much. And again, thank you, Bryn. That meant a lot to me. It really did. I appreciate you guys so much. Okay, go build a boat, Katie Ann. And we'll all come visit and when it's not bad weather, and we'll use your boat. I promise. You build that boat and we will come. Just like the baseball field. You build a baseball field and people will come. Well, you build that boat, Katie Ann, and we'll all come. I promise. So, all right. Peace out, everybody. Have a great night. Go check out whoever you want to check out. And just remember, you know, usually there's two sides to every story, and then there's the truth, right? So, my hope is that Sebastian is found, and I really hope that he's found safe and that he can come home and proceed to go to school and live his life and be a teenager like, you know, like he should have been. You know, sometimes, like I've said, if sense was common, we would all have it, right? But you know, sometimes when you're looking at something, you know, you just take things for face value, and you really need to listen to what is being said, because let me tell you, words mean a whole lot. They really do. So thank you. Thank you, Poppy. Thank you, everybody. I appreciate you. Cotton Candy Boobs, I'm not going to forget to write your song about your cotton candy boobs. Okay? I'm just trying to do it without being perverted. I swear. It's hard to write a song about cotton candy boobs because we all know what cotton candy is. And then you add boobs to it. I mean, for real. Thank you, guys. See you guys later. Peace out. Have a good night. Email me if you need me.